Good day, YouTubers. Shout out to Lisa, Roz, Sue, and Tessa for their tips and images and ongoing support. It is alleged that Tom Bauer, in his new book, Revenge, Meghan, Harry, and the War Between the Windsors, that in the first photo of Meghan and Harry proudly presenting their newborn son, Archie Windsor, to the Queen and Philip, with doting grandmother Doria looking on, everyone was in fact looking at a shawl, not a baby. No photographer was present, and this was strictly controlled, uh, that was allowed to snap a picture of Archie's face. That's the money shot, baby. These photographers take hundreds and hundreds of snaps from every possible angle, but the face shot was verboten. I have some other questions. Were the Queen and Philip really in attendance, or were they photoshopped in later? Just look at how casually dressed the Queen is in her blue sweater. She looks like she's about to do some gardening or maybe ride her horse. I mean, how deep do these deceptions go with Meghan and Harry? Before we dive into that, I want to quickly address a few other hot topics buzzing around the royals and circle back to allegations that Harry plagiarized parts of his speech from a recent speech by William. Let's begin with Goofball Harry. This picture of Harry goofing around and looking really terrible is now circulating everywhere. It just makes Harry look like an idiot. Why didn't the Harkles' 3 PR firms scrub this picture off the internet before it could get out? Can you imagine an unflattering picture of Meghan circulating like this unimpeded? I can't. It would just never happen. Meghan would go to war. I mean, do you know where your children are? Take them inside. There is literally nothing she would not do to purge the internet of a picture like this, of her looking just stupid or ugly or anything like that. They would simply call their PR firms to contact the photographer, whoever took this picture, and negotiate a hefty sum. And then it disappears forever and no one ever sees it. But it's too late now. I mean, this cat is out of the bag. This begs the question, is Meghan trying to make Harry look stupid? Okay, because a narcissist will intentionally devalue their victim before they discard them. They suck them dry of everything they can get out of them, then they devalue them, and then they discard them. Next millionaire, next billionaire, please. Harry looks awful. In addition to this, Harry looked awful at his recent Nelson Mandela speech at the UN. He looked angry, he looked sad, he looked beaten, he looked like a prisoner. And as shown in this picture where Meghan is using the double claw on Harry after he delivers his speech to an empty auditorium. Finally, it's also alleged that Harry plagiarized or copied parts of his speech from William's Church of Scotland speech in 2021. He did. In William's 2021 speech, he said, "And in the dark days of grief that followed, I found comfort and solace in the Scottish outdoors." Harry said in his Mandela speech, talking about Africa, "It's where I felt closest to my mother and sought solace after she died." Different location, both talking about grief from their mother's death, exact same words, copy, paste. Don't Harry and Meghan employ speechwriters? First Lady Jill Biden's speechwriter just compared Texas Hispanics to breakfast tacos. This person is looking for work. Perhaps Harry and Meghan can hire them. Plagiarism is not something that Harry was ever accused of prior to marrying Meghan. Allegations of plagiarism dog Meghan every single time she opens her mouth and says anything. Number one, this shows how much control Meghan is exerting over everyone, and she literally listens to no one. But number two, this is how narcissists behave. They're copycats. They make an exact copy of other successful people that they admire, but they don't add anything to it because success is just a mask that the narcissist is wearing. And underneath, they feel like hot garbage. So when the camera turns off, they're throwing dishes, they're screaming, they're treating everyone close to them like an inmate. Okay, like Ellen DeGeneres did. Okay, she was the kindest person. Her brand was kindness, and look at what was going on behind the scenes. She's now known as the meanest person in Hollywood. That's how a narcissist acts. Let's just see what the cards want to reveal today. Let's get into it. Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. Time for a spot of royalty. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling the Magi Method. As always, you can find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Please like, subscribe, and share if you are so inclined. Well, definitely like. And subscribe if you're not subscribed, and resubscribed if you've been kicked off, because they like to do that. So, were the royals in the first picture of Archie, which you never saw his face, were they looking at a shawl and not a baby? Because this is the allegation by our dude, okay, in Revenge. That's a big allegation, okay? I mean, Tom Bauer. And so if the Queen and Philip are present, that would mean that they're complicit. And I can't imagine that. And so that says Photoshop to me. So we're going to look at that. So were they looking at a shawl and not a baby? Were the Queen and Philip and Doria and everybody looking at a shawl and not a baby? 10 hearts. Player, making a play. Reacting, heart. Cut. Angel, that's usually a child. Jacks are usually children, especially angels, little angel. Foundation. And it's all jacks showing. So were they looking at a shawl and not a baby? So only Jack, the only face cards that are showing are jacks. Jack, Jack, Jack. This is a very important position. This is an important position. 10 hearts, playing on the emotions. Reacting and playing on the emotions. 15, 26, 7 diamonds. Outside influence. Player. Player is a single act. They get in there, they do it, and they leave. Okay, so like we're going to take a snap of Archie, but we're not going to show his face. So my dog is barking. I just told him to be quiet. He acts real vicious now behind the fence, but he's like the nicest dog in the whole world, and everybody's like, "Oh, what a cute puppy!" But he acts like he's Rambo behind, in the yard behind the fence. So anyway, so very emotional. They're trying to get an emotional response out of you by this. And the Jack of Diamonds is a good description. They did it. They showed you a picture of Archie, but they wouldn't show you his face. So I mean, it was very carefully choreographed. And it's a reaction to the public, like, hey, we need to see Archie. You're royals. We need to see Archie. All the royals show their baby. And they didn't do it. And the normal way to show the baby is you walk out on the steps after the baby's born. Literally, the mother walks out with the baby in her arms a few hours after the baby's born, looking like, wow, I've just been through war. And they show you the baby, and she smiles through it. Okay, that's not what Meghan did, so this was that presentation. This was the required snap picture. Okay, and they're just fulfilling that with the player. Heart, good intentions, playing on the heart again, and a single act showing the baby. High tower, keeping the baby away, very official, setting up a solid foundation, and hoping that this little kernel, the mustard seed is the smallest seed, that this little kernel is enough for the ravenous mob who wants to see the baby. And strength, foundation, part of the family, part of this is what we're building. So it's like a business decision. It's playing on your emotions as a business decision, but keeping the child away and sort of establishing that this child exists because they have to. Okay, they need to make this play. They have to. Yeah. So they had to do it. They felt like they had to do it. And if they didn't do it, everybody would say, something is rotten here at Windsor, at Buckingham. Something is rotten at Frogmore. Okay, so they had to do it. They felt that they had to do it. And all that weirdness, of, showing just this very choreographed picture of this baby is added to the fact that Meghan didn't use any of the royal doctors, or the royal hospital, or any of that stuff. And she's like using a doula and a water birth, and everything is shrouded in mystery, and it's all added to that. Okay, so now, the public, they need to see the baby to believe that it's real. Well, they didn't really show us the baby because they wouldn't show us the face. They just showed us a bundle of joy wrapped in Meghan's arms. That's all they showed us. And people doting on that child, staring lovingly at it, but it's a shawl. Okay, is it a shawl? That's what Tom Bauer says. And he's careful. So the other option, I can't believe the Queen and Philip would be in on such a deception. They'll be like, well, there's no skin in my game. I have no skin in the game for this. If you have a baby, then this baby is an heir and in the line of succession. But if you don't, and the boxes are not ticked, well, that's too bad for you, Meghan and Harry. So I can't imagine they would be involved in this. So were the Queen and Philip physically present for this picture, or were they photoshopped in later? Were they physically present or photoshopped in later? Roadblock. Man. Mother Earth. There's a secret. Do we have the Queen and Philip? The Queen and Philip physically present? Not there. Queen and Philip, not there. Blocked. They weren't there. 25, 30, 8 diamonds. This is a money shot, baby. 8 diamonds. Cornucopia or money. I almost called that card money. 8 diamonds. So they weren't there. And that's right on the surface. They were not there. On the surface, they were not there. So secrets. 9 clubs, 9 diamonds. Communicating officially secrets. Or keeping the baby away. And 9 clubs, the high tower can be very isolated. And keeping the baby away. They wouldn't show us the face. Okay. Philip and the Queen were not there. They were photoshopped in. City and diamond ring. Connecting to the world. Giving the world a glimpse of Archie, but not showing the face. Keeping it shrouded in mystery. Keeping and communicating that they want privacy. Oh, we want privacy. So they didn't show us Archie's face. And in other readings, I see that the original Archie, the surrogate mother, kept him, and they're using a whole bunch of different Archies. And you can tell sometimes the hair is black and curly, sometimes the skin is dark, sometimes the skin is light, sometimes the hair is red and very fine and straight and more coarse or redder. It just keeps changing. So I don't even think they've nailed down an Archie yet at this point. So they're keeping everything shrouded in mystery. We want privacy. We're not going to show our children's faces. And Meghan can bring the children to the polo matches, which she doesn't, and demand that they be blurred out, because those are laws in California specifically for celebrity children. You can't show the children's faces under, I don't know what age, 16 or something. You're not allowed to. So that's already the law. And Meghan, who loves to sue everybody, she can do that. So privacy, 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 and the Queen and the King were not there. They weren't there. They weren't there. Let's add this up. 18, 28 plus 7, 35. 36 is 9 spades, 9 clubs, 9 clubs. Keeping secrecy and keeping everything away. So that's how they're doing it. They keep crying secrecy. They keep crying privacy, privacy, privacy. But it's all just to keep up the sham. Okay, so the Queen and Philip were not physically there. Now we have Goofball Harry. Is this Meghan trying to devalue Harry? Because this is what narcissists do. This has happened to me many, many times. My mother's a narcissist. My father's a narcissist. I dated narcissists because that's what I'm used to. Oh, abuse me. You know, I'm not like that anymore. I mean, I'm like a porcupine at this point. But with regard to narcissists and toxic people, or I try to be, you know, Meghan is trying to devalue him. She wants him to look like an idiot, right? So let's look at that. Meghan and Harry. Meghan wants Harry to look like an idiot. Meghan. Harry. And frankly, Harry is like the guy, the look on his face now, he looks like a man who knows that his wife is poisoning him or hiring a hitman to kill him, and he's still sleeping in bed with his wife. He just doesn't, he cannot fathom what is going on, and he just simply doesn't know what to do. That is the look on Harry's face. Okay, he's just trapped in a horrible situation, and on the surface, oh, I love you, but behind, when that door closes, you know, the whip comes out, the chains come out, you know, there's hot coffee being poured on you while you're sleeping. I mean, it's crazy. That's what he looks like. That is literally what he looks like. And Meghan's whole thing, the narcissist's whole thing, is to come out smelling like a rose and make you look like crap. So that's what a devaluation is. So what's going on with Harry? It just keeps happening, and it just 18 on an ongoing basis. 555 change. He wants change, okay, but he is stuck, and he knows he needs change, and it just keeps happening, and it's over and over and over. And you know, there's the cycle of abuse where the abuser abuses the victim, and then they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, and then you have this brief period of honeymoon, and then they abuse you again. And that's what's happening with Harry. It just keeps happening over and over and over. Water into wine. It's an unrefillable, it's a never-ending cycle of abuse and making up, and abuse and making up, and oh, I love you so much. And that's called trauma bonding. Okay, and both parties are often very involved. But if Harry was doing it to Meghan, nobody would say, oh yeah, it's both parties. People would say, oh, Meghan's just the victim. But because it's a man, well, we'll just say it's both parties, even though I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Harry. So what's going on over here? Outside circumstances with those closely associated with Meghan, and she's breaking apart. Is she devaluing him? Is she breaking apart from him? Yeah. 2 spades. She's separating herself, and she's just letting him fall. She's letting him fall. 11, 13, 4 hearts. So he's close to her. She's keeping a hold of him. She's got the double claw on him with the, you know, the hand and the double claw. Like, you're not getting away from me, buddy. But she's letting him look like an idiot, absolutely. And heart and strength. I'm doing all of this for us, for our family, for you. 12, 3 spades. And it's going to be hard until we reestablish ourselves as the billionaire couple that we are, the Beyonce and whatever that guy's name is. See, I don't even know his name. Jay-Z. The Beyonce and Jay-Z of woke, okay? Meghan and Harry are the Beyonce and Jay-Z of woke. So, yeah, she's letting him fall. She's letting circumstances beat him up over and over, and it just keeps happening. Let's pull out the sticks. We haven't used the sticks in a while. Yes, no, yes, no. Is Meghan already looking for Mr. Next? Yes or no? Hail Mary, full of grace. Is Meghan looking for Mr. Next? Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for me, a sinner. Yeah, so that's a clear yes. So she's definitely looking for Mr. Next. Is she always looking for Mr. Next? Because look at how she dealt with her husband, Trevor Engelson. Look at how she dealt with the famous chef, Corey Vitiello. She was living in Corey Vitiello's house while dating Prince Harry. Is she always looking for Mr. Next?
Yeah. Whoa, boy, that's a clear yes. So Meghan right now is looking for Mr. Next, the next billionaire guy. Maybe Elon Musk. I mean, Elon Musk dated Amber Heard after she broke off with Johnny. I mean, wow. I mean, that really almost changed my mind about Elon Musk and his ability to make astute decisions. But I mean, otherwise, I really like him. But I mean, I saw him with Amber Heard. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? And so she's always looking for Mr. Next. She is looking for Mr. Next. She's always looking for Mr. Next. This is like, you know, the woman who is always on all the dating sites for, you know, oh, you're so beautiful, baby. Oh, I love you. She's always trolling. She's always looking. She's not, you know, she doesn't really talk to them. She just reads the comments and she's like, oh, I feel better about myself. That person is always looking to commit adultery. You give her any reason, she's going to be committing adultery on you. Okay, so does Harry feel like he can no longer escape? Because he really looks like a beaten man. And I don't have the resources. I don't have people around me like he does. He should have. Now, Meghan got rid of his advisor who was with him through everything, through the Nazi uniform, through the naked billiards in Vegas. This guy got him out of everything. This guy's a genius. And now who does he have? Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck? I mean, who does Harry have advising him? You need to do this, you need to do that. Because the only advisor is Meghan. And all his friends are gone. All of his family's gone. Everything is gone. So who's advising him? Does Harry feel like he can escape even? Or is he so beaten? How broken is Harry? Does he even feel like he can escape? Does Harry feel like he can escape? Water into wine. Ooh, look at that. Does Harry feel like he can escape? Well, right on the surface, we've got the Star of Bethlehem. The future is open. It's not blocked. It's not toxic. Royal family, right in the center. He does realize he's a prince and he's a member of the royal family. Renew his contact with the royal family, and this going is where he goes forward. He does realize that he can return to the royal family. 25, 7 hearts, 7 hearts. Okay, and in previous readings, I've said that the Queen and Charles and maybe William are reaching out to Harry and trying to bring him back. He still believes he can go back to the royal family and go and return to his old life. Been a lot of damage, and if he puts out the smear memoir, it just makes it harder and harder. I mean, it just makes it harder and harder and harder for him. But he believes he can get out. He believes he can get out. That's right on the surface, and that's good. He still believes he can get out. Executioner, making a clean break. Roses and handcuffs. He has to say the right things to make a clean break. He has to tickle your ears, tickle the public's ears with sweet nonsense. Message son, a new message. So executioner just cuts off the head. They don't have to talk to anybody. This is literally Harry going out for a pack of cigarettes, but you don't smoke. And then he hops on a plane and he's back in England in 3 hours. Okay, because he got the fastest plane to get back to England. So even if she chases him in a plane, she can't catch him even in the plane. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to hop from plane to plane like, you know, one of these Mission Impossible, like Meghan, you know, I mean, come on. Okay, but who knows? I mean, let's add this up. 13, 15, 17, 20, 5 spades. He's currently stuck, but he feels that like tearing off a Band-Aid, like just leaving in the middle of the night, he can do it. But he has to be very careful about public perception and saying the right words. And he really, so there's going to be, I mean, if he can get away from her, there's going to be people to advise him what to say and to literally write it. And like Joe Biden or Ron Burgundy, just read the script that is written for you. Okay, end of quote, repeat the phrase. Just read it, okay, and then you'll get out of it slowly, okay? So, Harry does believe he can get out. He is stuck right now, but he realizes the only way out is just a clean break. And maybe this kind of looks promising. Is he contemplating a clean break? Like, I got to get out of here. Because, I mean, the look on his face, he's like a man who's being slowly poisoned. And and it's like, this is my wife who loves me, but I know she's putting poison in my food. That's what he looks like. That's what his face looks like. Is he making steps to get out? Is he really cornucopia, finger of God, people outside? He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. Finger of God. People from outside his situation are calling him, saying, "Harry, get out! Leave now!" You know, people are saying that, and he's thinking about it. The fox is very clever. He's looking at everything. 27 cross. And he's thinking about going back to his family. So he realizes he still believes he can get out. He still believes he can return to the royal family. But he realizes he needs to just like leave in the middle of the night. And he is thinking about it. So I conclude that the Queen and Philip were not physically present. That they were photoshopped into the picture. What's this goofball Harry picture circulating around? Meghan is devaluating him. That's what narcissists do. Okay, is she always looking for Mr. Next? She's always looking for Mr. Next. Is she looking for Mr. Next right now? Yes, she's looking for Mr. Next right now. Just like that woman, and we know thousands of them who are constantly posting their bodies on the internet. They're always trolling for approval, acceptance, and Mr. Next. Can I get the bigger, better deal? Can I leave you now? That's adultery, baby. Okay, does he feel like he can still no longer escape? He absolutely realizes he can escape, and that is perhaps the privilege of wealth and all those resources. He does know he can get out, but he realizes he's got to just make a clean break. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. Don't forget to like and subscribe.